Yeah, so that's actually a really good question. But when you're thinking about pharmacy school and just, fields in medicine in general, the first thing you think about is patient care. How can I, as a clinical pharmacist, be part of that? And that's exactly sort of where I wanted to be. And I felt like as I was going through pharmacy school, I was like, this is where I wanted to be. It's all about the school really stressed being part of the multidisciplinary team. And I felt that I could definitely be happy as an inpatient clinical pharmacist. And that's why I decided to go down the route of being, or, going through residency and then becoming a clinical pharmacist in that sense. I think at the time too, the industry itself was fairly young. So there wasn't a lot of well-known, at least biotechs. Now there is in the Bay Area in particular, but at the time, all the big farmers were essentially in New Jersey or the East Coast. And so we didn't get a lot of exposure, unfortunately, at that time. So I was very focused on being sort of the clinical pharmacist and was happy in that realm. But there was a point in my career where I just wanted to try something a little bit different. So I think for me, the challenge was just there wasn't a lot of information available. This is, prior to smartphones and things like that. So access to that type of information was still not readily available. And we were just, exposed to what we knew. And of course, being at UCSF, everything was very much, clinically related. So that was always been the pathway that I chose. But, at some point, I decided to try something that I had never done before. And I was very happy and lucky to have had the opportunity. And we can talk a little bit more about that. But one thing that I would probably say that would have probably been helpful from my perspective, being sort of like the first generation, pharmacy grad here, is, you know, had I known about fellowships in pharmaceutical industry, would that have been something that I would have pursued? And I think yes, that could have been helpful because unlike a PGY residency where it's sort of like 1 year, and if you want to specialize, you can do like a second year. I think fellowships in general are a 2-year program with like a particular pharma company, usually, BMS or one of the larger ones as well. They have these programs. It's very set and it allows you to really have an opportunity to kind of go through the different um, uh, I guess, functions within medical or within the company itself. So you get a really good flavor of, what to expect. So I didn't have any of that. I really went into it just blind and not understanding sort of the culture in general is very different than what I was seeing every day in the hospital. So that was, for me, at least the biggest challenge.